Got to give the people, get the people what they want. People want some practice on graphing tangent. We got a good start in it in class today, and now we are about to really get it done. Let me get this on Do Not Disturb. Bang, bang. Let's go. So this right here is the problem you were doing in class today. Please try to finish this before you look at what I'm doing. So hopefully you finished it up, because you might not have finished it all the way in class, but try to finish it. All right, so let's see if what you did was correct. So you were like, okay, let me find the period first. So the period, the normal period of tangent is pi, and you divide that by the frequency, which is 1/4, right? So the period is pi divided by 1/4, which looks like pi times pi over 1 times 4 over 1, which is 4 pi. So this has a period of 4 pi. So now as I'm thinking about my graph for this, right, I know that I need to do half in the negative side and half in the positive side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my graph here. Boom, boom. Here's my graph. And well, what's half of 4? That's going to be 2. So we have 2 pi here, and we have negative 2 pi over here. And now I need to break this 2 pi in half, right? So I'm going to make this pi here and negative pi. All right, so if my period is 4 pi, if I break my period into 4 equal pieces, each one is pi. Positive 1 pi, positive 2 pi, negative 1 pi, negative 2 pi. There's 4 pi's total. And I think you all are pretty good with that aspect of it. So now, other things you should know, you should be like, okay, well, that means an asymptote is happening here, and an asymptote is happening here. Now all I got to do is I basically got to figure out where are these 3 spots. Because I know what the graph looks like, but I can figure out where are these 3 spots. So what I'm going to do that is I am going to make a Gemma table. All right, so I'm going to start with theta. I'm going to start with theta, and I need to divide it. You could say divide it by 4 or multiply by 1/4. That doesn't happen. I'm going to say divide it by 4. So theta divided by 4 gives me theta over 4. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take the tangent of that, and that gives me tangent of theta over 4. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to multiply by negative 2. Negative 2 times the tangent of theta over 4. So now I'm just going to use these inputs and see what happens. Those are my important pieces. So first off, I'm going to say, well, what if theta was pi? Okay, so it says take theta divided by 4. That's pi over 4. Now I need to find the tangent of pi over 4. Well, let's go over here. And I say, okay, well, here's pi over 4, right? Well, let me find the tangent of that. And remember, tangent is y over x. So it's root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2. I'm going to do this one out, even though you all have seen this in class, right? Tangent of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2 divided by, or over, root 2 over 2. And how do I divide? How do I divide fractions? I multiply them and use the reciprocal. So this is root 2 over 2 times 2 over root 2. These cancel and become 1s. These cancel and become 1s. I end up with 1. So the tangent of pi over 4 is 1, which you already know because you did that multiple times in class. All right? And now it says I need to take 1 and multiply it in this next one times negative 2. So 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So what have I learned? That when my input is pi, my output is negative 2. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to call this negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. We'll call this 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so when my input was pi, my output was negative 2. There's my first spot. All right, well, what if my angle now is 0? What if my input is 0? So if I have 0, 0 divided by 4 is 0. And the tangent of 0, which would be this right here, is y over x. So that would be 0 over 1. So the tangent of 0 is 0. And 0 times negative 2 is 0. So, okay, this one has a nice spot right there. All right, so now really I should be feeling pretty good because I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if the tangent of pi was negative 2, the tangent of negative pi, right, negative pi divided by 4 is negative pi over 4. And the tangent of negative pi over 4 is negative 1. And negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. So it's really just going to be the opposite. Boom, boom. Here's this one right here at 2. And now I'm like, oh, I'm doing some good stuff here. I'm like, and I'm like, boom, boom. There's my tangent graph of negative 2 tangent theta over 4. Ooh, I drew that one better too. I think half and half in it is a good look. All right. We're literally only going to do one more because I'm trying to explain it the whole way. And also, I just want you to focus on the details, okay? So let's do this last one. Why don't you do negative 2 tangent of 2 theta, excuse me. So you're pausing it, you're doing everything you can right now until you get stuck. And hopefully you don't get stuck. Cool. All right, so you did that. So let's start to think. All right, well, what do I have to do first? I'm like, all right, I have to find the period. So the period, the normal period would be pi, and I need to divide it by the frequency, which is 2. So the period for this tangent graph is pi over 2. So now, since I know the period, I can start doing some work. Okay. The period is pi over 2. So I need to take that. Actually, here's another way you could think about it, is I could take pi over 2, and I really need to break it into 4 equal parts. So pi divided by 2, I need to take the whole period and divide it into 4 parts. So pi over 2 divided by 4 over 1 is the same as pi over 2 times 1/4, which we get pi over 8. So each of my parts is an eighth. So now I know I have, here's pi over 8. Here's 2 pi over 8, which is 1/4 pi. Here is negative pi over 8. And here is negative 2 pi over 8, which is negative 1/4 pi. It's probably a better way to think about it. Now I have my entire period, half on the positive side and half on the negative side. Might be an easier way for you to think about that. All right. I'm looking good. I'm feeling pretty good right now. So I'm like, okay, now that I know where this thing exists, where my period is, let me go ahead and make a GEMMA table. So I'm going to start off with theta. There's theta, and I'm going to say, okay, I got to times it by 2. So I get 2 theta. Okay. And I have to take the tangent of that. So I get the tangent of 2 theta next. And then I have to times it by negative 2. Negative 2 tangent 2 theta. All right. I know all my important pieces. No. And now I'm just going to start finding my important inputs. Here, here, and here. Because I know this and this are undefined. So let's see what happens. So I'll start with pi over 8. So my input, is pi over 8. Take that and multiply it by 2, and I end up with 2 pi over 8, which is 1/4 pi. So this is pi over 4. My next step says we'll find the tangent of pi over 4. Okay. Well, here's pi over 4. Here's the tangent. And again, by this point, you should know that all that's going to equal 1. So the tangent of pi over 4 is 1. And then you're going to be like, oh, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So at pi over 8, my input, 1, negative 1, negative 2. The input pi over 8, the output is negative 2. Call this 1, 2. Okay? Let's do an input of 0. 0 times 2 is 0. The tangent of 0, you should know, is 0. And 0 times negative 2 is 0. Oh, snap. Input of 0, output of 0. And finally, now I know the opposites, right? If this is negative pi over 8, it's the exact same. It's going to be negative pi over 4. And I multiply it by 2. When I take the tangent of negative pi over 4, which would be negative 1/4, which would be right here, right? In case you're unclear, right? This is the negative pi over 4 direction. But we should know at this point that is going to be a negative 1 because it's the opposite of pi over 4. And I take a negative 1 times a negative 2 and I end up with a positive 2. So this ends up here. And now I'm in this same beautiful situation. I'm like this. Looks like it's probably going to go down some more and up. Oh, this one is not as good as last one. Let me try that again. Oh, that still looks bad. But you get the idea. Alright. Why do I have so much trouble? It's just supposed to do this, ain't it? Why do I have so much trouble with that? I'm trying this one more time. Shouldn't it just do this? Well, shouldn't it just do that? I think that's it. But whatever. Y'all get the idea. So we're going to do a bunch of these in class, next class. Mr. Bass, I'm out. I hope you got a little bit of practice. But you notice once you do the, what's this thing called? The Gemma table, all of it starts kind of repeating itself over and over again. All right, I'm out.